This is Financially Fit Radio with Cory Sickles from Safe Harbor Wealth Advisors. Retirement isn't just about saving, it's about having a strategy that helps you navigate market ups and downs, combat inflation, and secure the future you deserve. That's why Financially Fit Radio is here to tackle your biggest financial concerns, share actionable strategies, and help you move toward your retirement goals with confidence. And now, here's Financially Fit Radio with Cory Sickles.
Welcome back to another episode of Financially Fit Radio. I'm Cory Sickles with Safe Harbor Wealth Advisors. If you'd like any information that we discussed today, feel free to give us a call at 614-760-0670, or you can always visit us online at safeharboroh.com. And while you're on our website, make sure you check out our radio page. You can listen to today's show. You can listen to previous shows. You can also subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, or Spotify. If you want to watch today's show on our YouTube channel, just type in Safe Harbor Wealth Advisors. You can check out today's show, previous shows. You can also subscribe so you can be kept up to date with our latest short videos, which are just information about different types of financial topics. You know, we're here to help to make sure that you have the best retirement that you can. So feel free to, again, give us a call at 614-760-0670 or visit our website at safeharboroh.com to schedule a complimentary meeting with us. And just remember, there's no financial obligation as well. Well, today we're going to talk about scams. Odds are, if it's too good to be true, it's probably a scam. So before we dive into that, let me introduce to you my co-host this week and every week, and that's Tony Shore. Tony, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. You know, I've had a big week on Thursday night for my son's birthday. He's 26 now. We went and saw Bill Murray and the Blood Brothers live. You know, Bill Murray is touring with a blues band, and he sings. Can you believe that?
Was it good?
It was really good. I mean, the band was phenomenal. Some people were disappointed because Bill doesn't talk a lot. You know, he got up there and said a few things. Since they were in Minneapolis, he talked a little bit about that, and he does love Minnesota. He was a part owner for years and years of the St. Paul Saints, our minor league team.
Okay.
And so he spent some time up here and has friends in Minnesota, being a good Chicago guy like he is. But it was really good. Bill sang like on a lot of the tracks and played percussion. And he's funny. He's funny anyway. He didn't do stand-up. I think a lot of people were expecting him to tell some stories or whatever, but he's touring with a band. It's crazy, you know, and he's not a young guy anymore, but he gets up there and wails, and we had a lot of fun. And that
was his
fun.
Band?
It's just friends of his and guys he knows, but he's pulled together a lot of great musicians. There's a really good blues musician that was the band leader for Conan O'Brien's late night show for years and years. That guy's in the band, and a couple of guys from other bands. So the players are phenomenal, and they do a lot of old standards and covers, you know, of classic rock and blues songs. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. I was really shocked when I saw that he was touring. So
you know, I don't know if you watched the Masters this weekend or not.
I did not get a chance to.
But, you know, the one thing I like about the Masters, that just means it's golf season. It's always like the kickoff for golf season for us here in Ohio.
Yeah.
And, it was Roy McIlroy did about everything he possibly could to lose that thing. But, boy, he made some great shots down the stretch to end up winning it finally.
Yeah, he's a great player. And
I was happy for him to win it.
Yeah, I was too. I did hear about that. I saw some highlights. I didn't get to watch any of it actually, but I did see the highlights. I was watching a little bit last night, and it is funny because they said, you know, a regular golfer or some of the guys, if they made some of the mistakes he did, would never be able to recover. But he like you say,
after every mistake, he made a great shot right after.
Yes, exactly. And how often does that happen? Usually you have a bad mental. It's a mental game. Half of it is mental, right?
It is.
And that's why you rarely see a pro golfer screw up like that and be able to win the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
No, you're right.
Yeah. Speaking of golf, Bill Murray, big golfer.
Oh, yeah. Big golfer. Plays in the Pebble Beach Pro-Am every year.
Every year. I saw him play, at the Ryder Cup when it was here in Minneapolis a number of years ago. You were there.
Yeah.
You weren't there, I don't think, on the day Tuesday, the Celebrity Scramble, but it was him and Huey Lewis and Kurt Russell and
Yeah.
a bunch of people like that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, you had an exciting weekend though, too, didn't you?
I did. I was interviewed by the local Fox affiliate. I was camped out for Record Store Day. I'm a huge record collector. It's the 18th annual Record Store Day for fans of music, where they release very limited runs of records that are specialty records, like special colored vinyl, and very limited. Like some are 2,000 worldwide. The hot ticket this year was the Wicked soundtrack, a special version, sparkle vinyl with an extra track from that latest Wicked movie. And the number one person in
Did you buy it?
No. They only had two, and there were two girls that were 1 and 2 in line. They got there like 15 minutes ahead of me. I was 3, but they got there just for that. And Taylor Swift had a limited edition 7-inch with a special single and remix on it. So
what's like the Wicked album cost?
The Wicked album was like a double record limited, $59 or $69.
That's not bad.
But it isn't, but you had to be first in line at a store that got a copy because most stores got 1, maybe 2. The bigger stores might have gotten 2, and that's it, because they only made like 2,000 worldwide of this thing. So now, of course, people that got a copy. Some people buy it to flip it. It's been selling for $500 already online.
Yeah, my niece is a big Wicked fan. So
yeah. Uncle Cory gonna go on there and spend $500 to get her a copy of the limited edition vinyl, or
I probably not. Probably not.
You had a great weekend. You were down in Florida for a bit.
Yeah, I was down in Florida.
You even got
Came
some
back,
golf.
Golfed on Sunday. I golfed Sunday morning and sit down and watch the Masters that afternoon. It was a nice day.
Yeah, so you had a great weekend too.
Yeah,
that's good. Well, we have a special guest waiting. I think he may have dozed off as we're reminiscing about our great weekends. We should bring Joe in and ask him how his weekend was, right?
Yeah.
Joe.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How's everybody?
We're doing good, as you heard. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. It's kind of like Cory said, to kick off the Masters, the weather turns typically better here in Ohio. So I was able to get out this weekend and finally get the grass cut after a week of rain and, start on some yard work.
Yeah, spring is finally here. I love it. I love it. It was even nice up here in Minnesota this weekend. We got some sun.
Did you guys get into the 30s?
No, I think it was in the 50s.
Okay, that's about what it was here.
Yeah,
I think we hit 50.
we hit 60 yesterday. Yeah,
we didn't hit 60.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Well, Joe, you want to talk about some savings for prescriptions today?
Yeah, I think with everything that we've talked over about the last month, now that we're kind of in this time frame of April, people, I would assume, most people are just filling their prescriptions and not thinking twice about it, other than maybe what it costs. But if the person that's filling their prescriptions or a family member does a little bit of due diligence, there could be a cost savings there. So I've kind of just got a list here of, different things that try to help you out and save some of that money. So, number one here, most commonly, if you can do 90-day supply on your prescriptions, that's going to lower the cost most of the time for you. And it's going to keep you from going to the pharmacy 12 times a year. I think a lot of people know about this one, doing generic, obviously, trying that generic alternative. If the doctor agrees to it, that's going to save you money. Next one, mail order. So that kind of ties into the 90-day supply as well. Doing mail order prescriptions and having them come to your house. A lot of times we'll be able to save money along the lines of that 90-day, and mail order will typically do 90-day as well. This one people probably don't think about, but using a preferred pharmacy that is contracted with your prescription drug plan. Preferred pharmacies are going to give you a better rate than over some of the what I call like the mom and pop type pharmacies. So, make sure that you're using a preferred pharmacy. I think a lot of people know about this one, like the GoodRx and, some of those coupon type companies that are out there, but also looking into manufacturer assistance. So if you're on an expensive prescription that, it's just ungodly expensive, trying some other alternatives, again, tying back into like the preferred pharmacy or the 90-day, but also the GoodRx. OTC alternatives. So a lot of prescriptions out there, or not a lot, but there are some prescriptions out there now that are over the counter. One, for instance, omeprazole used to be a commonly prescribed medication for like an acid reflux, but you can now find it at the pharmacy just on the shelf. So there may be a savings there for you depending on how you're filling it and how often you need to take it. And I think last but not least, this one probably doesn't get talked about enough. Formulary exceptions. So if you are on a prescription that maybe your prescription drug plan doesn't accept, it's not on the drug formulary, you can reach out to that the insurance company and ask for a formulary exception. And there's going to be some paperwork that's going to have to be done between you and your provider that hopefully that the insurance company can then make an exception for you, add it to the formulary, and then allow you to fill that at the pharmacy and have some coverage there too. So you're not paying, like a full out-of-pocket cost on that prescription.
Oh, wow. I thought you were just out of luck if it wasn't on the formulary.
No, so there are certain circumstances where you can have, there's an exception form that you can fill out that you can work with your, your Medicare Advantage company, or if you're on a prescription drug plan by itself, and see if they will accept that prescription, for your situation. I don't know what it really takes to get it approved, but I know it's another option out there for people.
And I think that's one reason why you probably just want to work with someone, because they know like Joe, all the rules.
Try to.
Or the rules, but not only that, but maybe ways in order to save money as well. So
yeah, I think in another, show, I can probably tell a good story of, trying to save people money, or, just things that people didn't know about. So yeah, there's, just like Cory said, reach out to us. Everything we do at Medicare is complimentary. So there is no charge for our services, and, we're here to help you any way we can.
Well, thanks, Joe.
Not a problem. Thank you.
Well, that's great. And if people want to reach out to Joe, they can just call Safe Harbor 614-760-0670. Right, Cory?
That is correct, Tony.
All right.
That is correct.
So now you've got a great topic today. If it's too good to be true, it's probably a scam.
It's probably correct, Tony. And, so where I kind of wanted to start it is probably something that's probably, you read it. I think everyone reads about it at some point in time in the news, and that is Ponzi and pyramid schemes, right? I think pyramid schemes used to be a little bit, seemed like I don't know, 90s, but yeah. Definitely in our world you see Ponzi schemes, right?
Oh, and Ponzi schemes, yep.
Obviously, Madoff was the big one that everyone remembers, and one of the things that I think is very important, that if you're looking at a company that you want to invest with, you need to kind of just know the big question, and that is, are they considered the custodian of your money? I think that's a big part of it. To give you an example, so Safe Harbor Wealth Advisors, we never take custody of any of the money.
Right.
The money actually resides with Charles Schwab. Now, can we invest that money that's in there? Yes, but we can't actually take money, or we can't deposit money or take money out of that particular account. You're going to, our clients are going to get statements every month from Charles Schwab, not from the advisor. That's the key, not from the advisor. So when you start looking at firms that you want to be able to deal with, more than likely, you want to make sure that they don't have custody of the money. And if you want to invest with someone that does have custody of the money, you just need to be able to know that it could be potentially a Ponzi scheme. You need to make sure that you check the company out. We'll talk about some of the other things that you can do, but that's really how Ponzi schemes really take advantage of you, is that advisor actually has somehow custody of the money. And basically what they're doing is they're giving you some type of fake returns. And they're somehow just, moving the money. As new money comes in, they're paying money out. But that's one thing to be able to really check on and ask your current advisor, do you actually have custody of my money? and that'll tell you whether or not you have a potential to be part of a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, if you have to write a check out to the advisor or the firm that the advisor works with, and they say they're going to invest the money, that's a warning flag. There should be a third party
Correct.
custodian. That's the word in the industry, a third party custodian. Typically Charles Schwab, which is the biggest,
Right.
but there are a few others. But you really want to make sure your advisor does not have access to that money. It's a third party, right?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And that's a good way to be able to eliminate that. You also probably hear about some, what we call pump and dump type of schemes too. This is where basically people are trying to inflate the price, whether it's a stock or a crypto. And usually what you're going to be able to see is an email campaign, a social media campaign. There might be fake press releases. They might use telemarketing. But really what all they're trying to do is inflate that price real quick so they can they've already bought into it. They'll sell it. They make the money. And now you're left with the losses.
Yeah.
It does happen.
And then it's going to tank. Yeah. So that's tough. You want to really avoid the pump and dump isn't necessarily as common, but it happens. But boy, Ponzi schemes, you hear about those all the time. I mean,
it makes advisors look bad.
And it
really does.
It's
There's
too
a lot
bad.
of us, yes.
Yeah. Here you are, you go through all these years of you get the education, you've worked for years helping people. Your goal is to help people. You're set up, you're a fiduciary who's audited each year. And then somebody comes along, calls themselves a financial advisor or planner, and then bilks people out of their money by moving money around. If they get a new investor, they take some of that money and say, here's your return check, or look at your account. It's grown by this much. And then once you see that, they'll move the money out of it into another account, and they're just shuffling money and skimming. So
that's exactly what they're doing. That's exactly right. And obviously if someone calls you up and guarantees you some type of a return, it's probably a scam. And really what I'm talking about there is really there's only a couple ways that you can actually get guaranteed returns, Tony. That's maybe with a fixed annuity, right? I'm going to put money in there for 3 years at a 5% interest rate.
Yeah.
A CD or a money market.
Yeah.
If anything else is pretty much going to be able to be a scam. There's really no guaranteed returns, whether it's a bond or whether it's a stock or anything like that. So be careful about that. The next ones we're going to talk about are probably a little bit more popular. And, the first one's phishing, right? And one thing I do want to kind of read to everybody, everyone kind of hears that in the, when you hear it, phishing this, phishing that. But the one thing I want to do is I just want to make sure everyone understands what the definition of phishing is. And it's really the fraudulent practice of sending emails or other messages claiming to be from reputable companies in order to induce individuals to reveal personal information such as passwords and credit card numbers.
Yep.
I see this all the time. And, I see it, I even see it when I talk to clients too, right? But, the one thing I would say about emails, right? If you don't know who they are, don't be clicking on links within it, right?
Right.
They're going to have fake emails. They're going to probably go to different websites. You always want to be able to check by that. It's kind of amazing when you get the email and it says it's from PayPal, but when you actually click on the email address, it has no association with PayPal at all.
Right.
That's a good way to be able to do that, right?
Yeah. Don't ever click on an email that it says it's from PayPal or one of those sites, and you say, "Well, I've got a PayPal account. It looks like a PayPal email." Just delete the email and go directly to your PayPal account using PayPal itself and your username and password. Don't click on any links. That's the key. Just delete those emails and go to your account to see what's going on.
Yeah, because a lot of times when you click on certain things within there, now they're going to have malware on there.
Yep.
Now they're going to be able to probably see how you type in, what you type into passwords and things like that. So just be very cautious on any emails or messages. And, always be so, you really have to be, just don't be giving out social security numbers and credit card numbers to anything.
Right. And the big one now is text, not even email, but
Right.
I get texts all the time saying, you owe for an electronic traffic citation or
Tolls. I got a bunch of
Yep.
tolls last month.
Yeah.
I owed money on tolls, and I've never been up in, I haven't even been on a toll.
You didn't pay a toll fee, and our automatic cameras caught you. You need to click on this link and pay it, or call this number, and that is a scam. You delete those. That's
Right.
not legitimate. Don't pay, because if you give them your credit card number, that's a scam, and that's a big one. I get at least one of those a week now.
Yeah, but I think the one that you're going to be able to see a lot more of, Tony, is going to be AI. And what I really mean by that is our voices and things like that.
Yeah.
Last year, there were some scams out there. A big one out there was one with, Elon Musk, where it was a video. Obviously, it was his voice, but it was all AI generated, asking for money. A lot of people ended up throwing money into that. I was just kind of reading about it as I was preparing for the show. But I think AI is going to be a lot more. It's just going to be that way. And here's the one thing to always remember. When we start talking about government entities, Social Security, and things like that, they don't call you.
No.
If anything, they probably send you a letter. It's going to have this.
They'll send you physical mail. So even be wary of emails, but they will not call. If you get a call from any major, Microsoft, Apple, Social Security, the IRS is a big one.
Right.
And they're asking for information, hang up. It's not them. They will not call you.
Yeah,
in fact, if you call them, you're going to be on hold about 2 hours trying to get them. They're not going to call you.
That's exactly right.
That's not going to happen.
Right.
So.
And a lot of times, whatever they're doing, whether they're trying to call you or anything like that, they're trying to pressure you to act right now.
Yep.
Right. They want you to send money to them right now. And, if you have a family member that's all of a sudden in need and needs a gift card from Walmart or whatever else, odds are they really don't need that. And it's probably not them.
Yeah. Well, really quick, let's, we only have a few minutes left here. Let's go back to, fake advisors, that, you see AI generated. They might be trying to generate someone, How do you verify your investments in advisors, Cory?
Yeah, but good one to be able to do is you can go out to SEC's Edgar, for stocks. You can also go out to FINRA broker check. And if you Google this stuff, you'll come right up to that as well.
Yeah, it's Edgar. It's SEC and Edgar, EDGAR.
That's right. And then FINRA is FINRA. Broker check, you can do that. You'll be able to check them out. Yeah. Always a good idea, and I've done this too, is whatever the name of the scam is or the company, just Google it plus scam, and it's going to probably come up whether or not that is an actual scam as well. And always, another thing that you always want to be able to do is, let's just say something does happen, right? Who do you actually report that to? What I would highly recommend is the FTC. You can go to report fraud at ftc.gov, which is the Federal Trade Commission. If you have an SEC issue, you can go to sec.gov/report. And you can always go out to FINRA, which is finra.org. Another thing that I would also do is call your local police. They'll be able to guide you on what you need to do. Yep. If you are hit for fraud, make sure that you write everything down, all the information you have about exactly what happened to you. Obviously we've talked about it before. Freeze, I highly recommend that all your credit reports are frozen anyway, or freeze them. And if something does happen, one of the first things you're going to want to do is freeze your transactions for your credit report, which is Experian, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax.
Yep. Yeah, those are great things, great tips. And if people have questions or want you to reiterate that or send them that information, they can just give you a call. Cory, how can they get a hold of you?
Yeah, they can give us a call at 614-760-0670 or visit our website at safeharboroh.com. And just remember, All meetings are complimentary and there's no financial obligations. We're here to truly help to make sure you have the best retirement that you possibly can.
Hey, that sounds great. And that does it for today's episode of Financially Fit Radio with our host, Cory Sickles.
Thank you for joining us for Financially Fit Radio. Don't head into retirement without a strategy that addresses both income and taxes. For more information, please contact Cory Sickles at Safe Harbor Wealth Advisors at 614-760-0670 or visit safeharboroh.com now. Join us again soon for another episode of Financially Fit Radio.
Investment advisory services are offered by Safe Harbor Wealth Advisors, LLC, and SEC Investment Advisor. Insurance products and services are offered through Safe Harbor Retirement Group, LLC, an affiliated company. Safe Harbor Wealth Advisors, LLC, and Safe Harbor Retirement Group, LLC, are not affiliated with or endorsed by the Social Security Administration, the Federal Medicare Program, or any government agency. All matters discussed during the show are for informational purposes only. Each individual situation may vary, and the opinions expressed here may not apply to everyone. Materials presented are believed to be from reliable sources, and no representations can be made as to its accuracy. All ideas and information should be discussed in detail with one of our qualified representatives prior to implementation. Calling this number will direct you to a licensed sales agent.